Hello everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Catributor podcast with today's guest, Chaos Machine. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello guys, I'm a crazy guy from Greece. My name is, real name is John, if you want to remember that. ChaosMachineGR, yes, I'm a streamer full time, almost, you know. I love to interact with the people. That is the reason I start the streams. Definitely these awesome people, Item and Jedi, they are veterans than me. I remember when I remember myself when I watching them before I start the stream, especially on YouTube. And yeah, here is nice to see you. Thank you so much for the invite, Item, Jedi. Thank you so much, guys. It's very kind of you. It's first time we do that after a long time. What else I can say? We're gonna speak. We're gonna
happy to have you here.
Learn each other in the meantime on the video. Yeah. Thank you, and again, thank you so much for having me. Very much appreciated.
Thank you for joining us. And I guess we can now just jump into the first topic. We just had the newest patch, update 10.9, that brought us a lot of things. Let's put it like this.
Yeah, probably the most noticeable thing for most people is we've just come off the kind of pre-release of the Soviet carriers, and we're straight into the pre-release of the German battle cruisers. And it's the usual tokens and mission system, although they've done something a bit different in that they have modeled the tokens after the clan, was it naval battles? Whatever it's called, where you have to exceed certain thresholds and they sort of go up as you exceed them, and for each of those you get, I think, something like 25 tokens.
Yeah, they now call them personal challenges, and this is, I mean, the thing is, obviously these days it's often hard to figure out how you get the tokens, because there used to be missions, and then with the Soviets they had like their free research bureaus, and now they have personal missions, so you have to look around. But you get the tokens now via personal challenges, and there is, I think, a challenge for each class and nation, right? And at first you need like, I don't know, 200 or 300 base experience, and then you need more as it goes up. And I think it's a weekly reset.
It might say somewhere.
And yeah, there you get the tokens, and then you buy the bundles as usual. Well, not exactly as usual. There is no longer the gamble bundles for the tier 9, right? The tier 9 is not just directly purchased with token. Well, I mean, after you go through the chain, and then the tier 10 is in the Lighthouse auction. So
yeah, this is, I think, the first time we've had any of the preview lines have the tier 10 obtainable in any way outside of people testing it, which is, kind of notable, but at the same time, it's further monetization of tech tree lights. They're doing it as an actual, like a blind auction, as we've had once before in World of Warships. So for a minimum of 1,000 doubloons, and from what I've read, there are people bidding 30, 40k doubloons, which seems completely mad to me.
If I calculate correct, I'm not good with calculations. For the missions and for the personal thingy, which, personal challenge, sorry. Definitely, if you want to unlocked in the chain, in the armor, with the, the tier 9, the Prince Rapprecht, I don't know if I say correct, apologize for the people to watching this.
More or less correct.
You need definitely to spawn doubloons. That means doubloons is money, yeah. Definitely you must spend, you must spend doubloons if you're going to unlock the Rapper, the tier 9. My point is, okay, any new thing in game, definitely we are a little bit, how call it in English, we can't wait to play with that ship, for example, okay, and we need this, okay, I'm gonna play that now because I have the advantage against the other players. I don't want to wait 2 months Okay, I can understand that because I am in the same position right now. I'm not CC anymore. I don't have the free stuff. I don't have the stuff to give us from Wargaming. And yes, I can understand these players now more. I understand before I left the program, definitely. But now I can understand more because I am in the same position. I don't have press account to play the ship and to enjoy. Okay, so that means I have patience. I'm gonna wait 2 months. Definitely, I put some doubloons for fun. I do it online on my stream. I spent 1,000 doubloons in the auction for the Schlieffen. Definitely, the good thing is on this, if you didn't take the Schlieffen, you take your doubloons back. That is very good thing. Okay, but this is not the right way, because my point is it's a tech 3 ships, because it's a tech 3 ships. Guys, patience, please. In 2 months, in December, the first week of December, normally it's the patch 10.11 goes live for any of you, ladies and gentlemen, about the German battleships. If you don't want to spend your money, it's up to you. If you want to spend your money, again, it's up to you. But my suggestion is unlock the tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier, and I think you have enough tokens for tier 7. Okay, that's it. And let's go to grind. I prefer to spend my money to buy premium account, and you grind easier. You have 60% bonus. Okay, and it's more easy for anyone of us than to spend your doubloons. And don't forget, you keep your doubloons for Christmas containers if you want to buy something for Christmas or about something at discount. You have a discount and you say, the next month we have a discount. Oh, damn it. I spend my doubloons for the auction or for the battles to unlock the German battleships in the chain thing in Armory. Think about that. What the game release in the future, premium ships or a nice Black Friday is close, Think about that, and it's up to you guys. We are here to open your eyes. Not open your eyes. Your eyes is open anyway. We are here to give you our help, our opinions, definitely.
I mean, that's all we can do, really. At the end of the day, we're not in charge of anybody's credit cards. But if you want to send me your credit card numbers, feel free. But yeah, they 100% are just trying to, as it's called, fear of missing out. They're trying to capitalize on people's impatience. They are hoping some people will buy this stuff that don't necessarily want to wait or go through the grind. And as I've seen on Reddit, people point out it's that they've calculated it's something like 28k doubloons if you were going to convert free XP for the entire line. So if somebody's bidding around that for the auction, I mean, there's only 1,000 of them, and I presume that's per server. It might seem worth that to them to skip that grind to tier 10 in terms of time saving, but it does have the knock-on effect of other people will see people sailing around in these ships and think, oh, okay, maybe I'll get that. That's the flavor of the month, and maybe they go and spend some doubloons that they weren't planning to spend and would later wish they'd saved for something. So yeah, it's really all we can do is caution people, remind people these are tech tree ships.
Yeah, indeed. And definitely we don't judge anyone. If guys, no. I mean, for the people to think something about that. No, we don't judge no one. We just love to be close to the community. And we was close to the community, and we are now, and we will. I say that because we scream about this gabble thingy, about the tech tree ships. You spend your doubloons to take the tech tree ships, and before we left the program, and after, before we left the program, yes, and after we left, we have exactly the same opinion, and is one of the reason we left. Anyway, we try to protect you, if you allow me to say that, and spend your money wisely.
Yes.
I mean, even when we were CCs, I mean, I know I was always of a mind of like, yeah, I'm promoting wargaming stuff, but at the same time, I'm here to like try and be reasonably impartial and point out if I think stuff's a good deal or not. So that hasn't changed. I don't think it's changed for either of you guys either.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
I'd recommend patience, right? I mean, it can be a lot of fun playing through a new line anyway, right? Instead of like skipping everything and getting immediately towards the end. I mean, it's a shame that there isn't much going on in the lower tiers these days. If you'd queue for a tier 3 game, right, you are in queue for 2 or 3 minutes and then most of the match is filled with bots, because every new ship line is basically like people skip the earlier stuff because they get it from bundles and tokens. And even if you were to play it, you get through them so quickly these days that basically nobody's playing out tiers anymore. The game has kind of come down to tier 5, maybe to tier 10, and the other tiers are just...
I think tier 4 is the very earliest where you can get any kind of semi-reliable matchmaking, and you might have a few bots per side, but yeah, tiers 1, 2, and 3, lots of bots and long queue times. I should also note the thing they're doing, the tokens, and they're doing also the usual thing of permacamos that they also, of course, just did with the carriers. We talked about these previously. I don't like them that much. I think they could have been a lot more interesting, but free permacamos, you can't really turn your nose up at that too much if you manage to get some of those.
Good stuff is good stuff. Of course.
I'm a bit disappointed with the looks of those camos. I feel like they could have made a more appealing color combination.
Yeah, what did we decide last time? And it was like the sort of based on the flag of, was it Brandenburg or the crest of Brandenburg, something like that? / Prussia. That seemed to be the inspiration.
Brandenburg will be available in with doubloons, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, Brandenburg as in the historical state rather than the ship.
Sorry, because I hear Brandenburg. Sorry. Apologize.
Well, it gets confusing when I say when the German ships are all named after places, and then I remember a lot of the Royal Navy ships are just named after places as well, of course, US Navy ships. So I'll shut up then.
Anyways, I live for the moment to see Greek ships in game. Wow.
Could happen.
Maybe.
There's definitely some notable ones that could make their way in. So then we have Halloween event, which is running through all of this month, I think, pretty much.
Finally, they bring it back.
Yeah, I can highly recommend that if you've never played Saving Transylvania, that's I think the current operation. And then I presume next week they will switch it to the next one, like Sunray Darkness. Very fun operations, and I think they've reset the rewards, so even if you did them before, you can like do them again. Play them, they're fun operations.
It's doing it the random group, particularly, well, we don't have Sunray yet, but Saving Transylvania is 4 stars is reasonably easy, 5 stars is trickier, but they've also got a super hard difficulty level available, which I imagine you would want to get together a group of people that can communicate for. So it's nice to have these back, especially if you haven't played them before, but it also would have been maybe nice to have some new variations.
Cheers to our department, by the way. Again,
this
department
looks good.
Keep the game alive. Wow.
There's also Twilight Hunt, which is going to be a temporary battle mode, which I think we have also had before. I'm having memories of this. It's kind of like the it's the free-for-all players versus each other, but there's a bunch of bots in the mix, and then you have Rasputin turning up as a boss near the end.
You can form divisions during battle.
Yeah, you can form temporary divisions, and the main objective is kind of like an exit portal in the middle that you have to go through before the time ends or before you get sunk, kind of thing.
It's the third time that they are bringing this. Right, they had last year in Halloween, then they had key battles earlier this year, and now they have Twilight Hunt, how they're calling it this time.
In the super hard mode, it's super hard mode.
I'm gonna have to see if I can scrape together some clan members and give that a go. That will be.
I haven't tried super hard mode, so.
Really? Oh my god! Try it. Oh midday. Wow. It is super hard, dude. Yeah, unbelievable that. It's crazy.
But
It's
there's
crazy.
also there's going to be, of course, temporary currency types, but one of them, I think, from the Twilight Hunt mode, if I'm reading this correct, will let you.
Twilight, it's okay.
About points. It's a reward for completing the order. Receive Jack Lantern containers, community tokens, a new resource called Twilight tokens. So the Twilight tokens you can exchange for some themed perma camos, so the kind of steampunk style ones, which I don't think are new. I'm not seeing any.
Isn't there like at least one new one?
Maybe. Is it the Hipper? I don't know if the Hipper was.
I at least I can't remember. Maybe it's an old one and I just can't remember it.
Donskoy, I'm sure, has been in before, but they've only got the picture of the Hipper, so I don't know.
I can speak about the rewards. They say about Twilight tokens can be exchanged in the armory for them commanders with 10 skill points.
Commanders
permanent camouflages. Yeah. Admiral Hippel has Young, Implacable, Ketakaze, Dimitri Donskoy, and Iowa.
I mean, if you need, being able to get some tokens and get a free 10-point commander, that saves you a bunch of elite captain XP or grinding, as the case may be. So that's certainly nice.
Yeah, I mean, and the camos look amazing. If you are into that sort of camo.
Yeah, I'm not the hugest fan. I think they look a bit busy, to be honest, but there are going to be people out there that like that sort of thing.
We speak about camos. I love the Warhammer 40k, by the way. I love it.
Everyone's very excited for the, which one is it? For the Feng Yang, the Orc one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I love the mines. The thing is, I have mines, and I don't know if I'm gonna take it, because to take to give 35 or 40 euros for a camo, because I'm gonna pay the camo, not the ship.
Yeah, it really depends on the cost, I think.
But amazing job. GG to the guys in our department. Yeah, amazing. Hello, mom, by the way. Hello, mom. I'm popular.
Well, the chat's asking, does Chaos also have cats? It's an important question. Or have you got some other kind of pet?
Sorry. You are streaming on YouTube. I think
this is on Atam's channel. I'm reading the chat from Atam's Twitch channel.
Okay. You are live on Twitch. You are live on Twitch.
Yes.
Really? Hey!
I'm sure I mentioned that.
Yeah. Sorry. Because you say live, I think. Sorry, I didn't know that. I apologize. I think you record the video. I don't know.
We tricked you. You've been live on Twitch the entire time.
It also goes on YouTube. Yes, it's also done on YouTube.
Give me a second. Beginning of next week.
To make my eyebrows, by the way. Yeah. Hello, people.
It's fine.
Hello.
You're gorgeous. It's fine.
Wow. Yeah. Now I open the. I apologize. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love your cat. I love your cats, by the way.
Do you also have cats, Chaos, or any other pet?
Yes, I have one cat. Her name is Lisa. She is 4 years old. Yeah.
Only just older than Sam. Then he's only about 3.
Sam, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I keep forgetting what Atam's pair are called.
Sabrina and Whiskey. Sabrina is the one that's sleeping behind my monitor currently, and that you can see on cam, and Whiskey is sleeping, close by.
I knew one of them was alcoholic in some way.
Whiskey is the left or the right? Ah, here it is. Oh my god. Look at that. Unbelievable that. Gucci. Unbelievable this.
So
Okay.
also on this page we have the 5th and 6th brawl being announced. Not much really to mention there. It's going to have.
Yeah, they're going to be 3 versus 3 brawls, which I think are the most fun ones. So I'm going to look
Yeah.
forward to that. And tier 8 and tier 10 both have fun ships.
3 versus
I
3
love
will
the-
certainly make for some intense, reasonably quick battles.
I like the brawlers definitely. It's something you play 3 versus 3. By the way, I can't wait about the 1 versus 1 again. Chop. Finish a battle, you kill the guy, or you are dead, and next. You take your call.
It doesn't
Salute.
suck up a lot of time.
Yeah, 10,000 coal, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah.
Yeah, 80,000.
From my perspective, yeah.
Elite Commander XP, bunch of signals, and 240 million credits potentially.
It's not something. It's not a big deal. Okay, it's not something wow cool about. Yeah, it's okay if you're going to grind a little bit. Your call, yeah, it's nice opportunity. And 3 versus 3 guys, yeah, it's no big deal. It's okay. You remember the 7 versus 7? It's 5 or 6 months ago. Wow, it's very boring.
Yeah, I mean, 3 versus 3, you just press W, right? You go in with a few friends, with 2 friends, you have a beer, and you just press W, and the fun happens.
Yeah, correct. YOLO mode.
I think it's definitely a bit less try hard, a bit more fun. Should we skip over submarines because we're going to come to submarines?
Yeah, I think submarines will discuss with the dev. I think there's a lot.
Below that, we have interface changes, and if anyone's been playing the game, they will have noticed that things have changed a little bit with the UI in terms of.
Nice though, nice change.
Yeah, good thing. So,
nice.
like if you have adrenaline rush on your captain and you take damage, it'll pop up to say adrenaline rush activated, and other skills that are conditional in how they activate. It now tells you explicitly this skill has activated. So it's a nice change. It tells you exactly what's happening with your captain skills and your ship.
And you can see how big the bonus is that you currently have.
But it's more information for the player, and that's usually a good thing.
Especially for the new players. Huh?
Yeah.
They can understand how the skill works, What is this? Yes, okay. They read the description, they understand, how it works in battle. Now, it's more easy for anyone. For us, for the old players, for the new players, for the veterans.
I mean, being able to see what's activated, be able to see a bit more clearly which, like the icons when stuff is disabled are a bit clearer now. There's kind of like a little outline, and it's not just a brief pop-up that you might miss. It also says they've added a setting in the control section that allows timers on fires, flooding, and other modifiers to be permanently displayed when the adaptive full combat interface is enabled. So if you've got that toggled, it sounds like there's an extra control that you can, so that you get a full countdown with the timer. So I might actually have to go and remember and turn that on after we're done here, because that sounds like it might be quite useful.
Also, keep in mind, we're talking about skills. There's currently a free respec, so you can try out all the skills that you want right now. Reset your captains for free. I think there's a link where you could reset all of your captains for free. You can do that before this time period runs out, just in case you have a lot of ships where you're unsure about your builds. Keep them unspec'd for future changes.
How many days we have about that? It's 12 days.
Yeah, it's a reasonably long time, I think. I can't remember exactly where it says that, but
let me
see. During the first 2 weeks of the release. So, about 2 weeks. Probably don't wait until the last day to do all the respecs.
Correct. You're absolutely right. The thing is, I found the link a few days ago, and if you want to search it again, you can find it. Oh my god, yeah. What the heck?
Well, it's always nice to even have the option of if you're not happy with how some of your commanders are set up. It's always nice when these resets come along and you can just do it for free.
Yeah.
So going a bit further down, we have just a kind of general section. So we have, let's see, World of Warships will see the addition of 2 variants of German battleship containers that will have specific chances of dropping German ships: Brandenburg, Max Immelmann carrier, and the Weimar, and the tech tree Meerka, and other rewards. Brandenburg will also be available in the armory for exchange for doubloons. So we can guess what kind of cost that will be for a tier 8 battleship.
And there's a German commander with a unique voiceover, but I have no idea what kind of voiceover that is.
I don't know who this is. If this is some kind of someone who's kind of historically important, or is this? I have no idea. I don't know who this is. Somebody might know.
I don't know, but then again, I'm very bad with references like that if it's from a movie or something.
Yeah.
But we will see. I mean,
yeah. Some Kings of the Teas, Kings of the Tea. Tell them British. Kings of the Sea stuff. Commanders and flags. There's going to be a couple of commanders added. It doesn't say if it's going to be for the armory, but I'm guessing it'll be armory commanders, either for like coal or doubloons or whatever. Edward Turner, Stepan Yermakov, Kenji Shiraishi, and Klaus Sternberger. It's going to be a permacamo from North Carolina for Kings of the Sea, which is it's the one with the crossbones and the golden tentacles. I think we've seen that in a previous one. That does look quite good. Yeah, we've definitely seen that in a previous dev blog or something. As we mentioned before, there's the Warhammer 40k stuff that's upcoming, and we've definitely mentioned this before. In previous ones, the Cross of Dawn, which is Mites, and the Smasher, which is a Fen Yang with an orc theme, and I think that's probably going to be the most interesting to a lot of people. Although there are going to be people that want the Space Marine themed one as well. And that's
I want the orc captain. I'm looking so forward to having an orc captain.
I think this is going to be like with the Amagis. It's going to be a separate ship rather than a skin, so it'll be the full price of a premium for it.
Yeah, I have enough doubloons from my CC days saved up, so I can get myself.
Many you have?
96,000.
96,000.
Really?
96,000. Wow. Okay.
I've got after completing the Deseven Provincienne thing, I have 24. So I'm a peasant in comparison. Let's see. Added ships for testing. So this is not news. This is obviously the
question for Item. Where are you gonna spend your doubloons?
Well, we will see. Now they have. I'm not gonna spend them on an auction, even if I paid nothing for those doubloons. They're too valuable for that. But if they have a collab like the Warhammer, I'll probably get some Warhammer stuff.
Okay. About you gonna buy steel, because this is the thing, if somebody want to take steel, he can pay 30,000 doubloons. How much it's about for the next dockyard thingy?
You can buy out the dockyard and then that's. I don't care that much about steel ships.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have exactly one steel ship. That's the Somers.
It's a good one.
Somers, wow. Nice.
I do have some steel saved up, so I think with a coupon I might be able to afford a second steel ship, but currently there's nothing that's tempting me enough to spend the steel.
Oh, okay. If you don't like something, yeah, okay. The thing is to like the ship, to enjoy it, yeah. Yeah.
Tech tree changes we're going to cover. Armory. They're removing the premium ship tier 5 and 7 containers. And instead, you're going to be able to buy the Ishizushi for 10,000 community tokens, Exeter for 15,000, and Leningrad for 20,000. Leningrad is actually, that's a good ship. Like, if you could save up for the Leningrad, that would be really worth saving up for.
You tell
Exeter,
me.
maybe not so much unless you're a history fan. And Ishizushi, I mean, it's probably one of the stronger battleships at tier 4, but it's tier 4. Enjoy the double carriers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leningrad's a nice one on that list, though.
Leningrad is an interesting one, the others not so much.
Yeah.
I like it, yeah.
You'll also be able to...
I agree with Darth Mikalek, by the way. Hello, Darth! About the Christmas thingy. In our case, I think Jedi, yeah, it's okay. In our case, by the way, guys, Jedi and Titan, we have most of the premium ships.
I had all ships that you can find in crates when I left the program. Since then, I think they added 2 or 3 more. So technically, wow. I can now, for the first time in years, I could find a ship in a crate again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, technically, yeah. I know. You think?
But I mean, more to boxes later, because they will have drop rates on the New Year's crates this year.
Yeah, if you want to discuss about that, they make an announcement in DevBlog about that.
Major topic. We were talking about this last week with World of Tanks doing that, and we've actually had one of the Warships announcing it's going to be happening in the near future. It's not happened yet, but yeah, we'll talk about that more in a bit. We've also got some miscellaneous notes at the end here. So technical changes of ship armor. So there's something to do with the coding on how the ship armor is. How the interaction between shells and ship armor and all that, like maths and whatever, is apparently going to be changing. So we'll see. This might be one of these seemingly inconsequential things that has some kind of drastic actual gameplay change or unintended gameplay change. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But yeah, the example they give is these changes allow us to avoid situations where a ship receives damage from penetration and over-penetration of the same shell at the same time. They also make it impossible to penetrate a ship's armor through various decorative elements on the deck. So that might make it more comprehensible to players in terms of shells giving more consistent damage values, because it's not always obvious when you're expecting to get, like, you've got an overpen ribbon, but then it gives you the full damage amount plus a bit kind of thing. So it'll avoid those situations, but at the same time, you might be doing less damage. So we'll see.
Interesting is the changes in 2022 about the replacement of GK and Khabarovsk.
Yeah, well, we've got a separate article about that on the dev blog, so we'll cover that when we get to the dev blog stuff. But yeah, that's going to be interesting one to talk about.
Yeah, collect your gift.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Yeah,
I think we're about done with this page. There's some very miscellaneous fixes at the end. Calls.
Yeah, they have fixed the Missouri shell error now.
Yeah.
And some other fixes that,
things like the torpedo range of not being shown for torpedo bombers in the port, and
there was an incorrect bomb penetration value. So some UI fixing, I guess.
Survivability expert to increase aircraft HP by an incorrect value. So minor stuff most people aren't going to notice. So should we go on to the devlogs now?
Yes.
A lot more to skip through.
Lots of devlogs.
Submarines first, maybe?
Yeah,
you like it, huh? I'm joking. Wow.
Yes, everybody likes submarines, especially people like launching depth charges, I've heard.
Yeah, so this is entitled Submarines Next Step. So there was a section on submarines in the actual patch article, but I think this has got a bit more detail to it, this dev blog.
There is also then the clarification article where they, go into a bit
Yes.
more detail about subs.
We'll
But
kind of take those together, I guess.
yeah. I mean, first the important change, obviously, everybody except the Dutch now has anti-submarine warfare. Why not the Dutch? Nobody knows, but I guess somebody didn't like the Dutch.
Which is funny because if you look at the Friesland and now the Groningen as well, they kind of specifically have anti-submarine mortar tubes on them, which I guess are just decorative.
No, they are destroyers, the Dutch cruisers, right? It's just the
cruisers.
Dutch cruisers. I think the destroyers have the anti-submarine warfare.
Okay, well that would make more sense then. I thought it was all Dutch ships.
I mean, it still doesn't make sense, but it's
no,
it's at least as I don't know.
They kind of gave up on, because for a while it was like, oh, this ship gets it, but this ship doesn't, and it didn't make any sense. And they've just kind of gone, now everyone gets it apart from Dutch cruisers.
Yeah.
So
then
the big announcement is that they want to move to putting submarines in random battles.
Yes.
Well,
That's kind of like the headline thing.
Lol. We expect that, by the way. We discussed that 1 year ago when we see the submarines in a public test server. Anyone, we accuse, hey, what? Okay, submarines now, if you remember, when they released submarines in public test server, they put it in separate mode. The thing is, they pay some people to create these submarines. Who is? I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I don't know. The thing is, we think in our minds we're gonna see submarines in the game in random battles. They start, by the way, in ranked battles. Okay, and when they announce what the Jedi told us a few minutes ago about all the ships gonna have anti-submarine warfare, we say, oh, hell yeah. It's sarcastic, by the way. We're going to see submarines in random battles. And this is a test phase. The next patch, I think, I don't know. I hope not. It will be a perma thingy in the game. I hope not, but I don't want to be so negativity about that. The thing is, I don't like it. I don't like that. Before you do something, ask the community, what do you think about submarines in World of Warships? I don't want them. How much of these people they say yes? 90%. They don't want submarines. Okay, I'm not gonna do it because you lose players, or the people is frustrating in battles. You can imagine after 2 or 3 months, average players, they're gonna learn the submarines. You can care a lot of things with submarines. It's a sneaky ship, if I can say that. You can hide. You can play sneaky. How can I explain it in English? You can understand.
The thing that I've seen, I mean, currently they are playable in ranked battles, and they've been in co-op battles for like the last patch, I think. They're starting with, I don't know if we've got an exact start date for when they want to start putting them in random battles, but it's going to be the same rental system. That much is clear. But even in ranked battles, I mean, from some of the stuff I've read on the forums and Reddit, it's kind of, and this is anecdotal. Obviously, this is not a big sample, but it's kind of come to the point where the bad players are kind of easy to dispose of in submarines, as in like any ship class. If you're sailing around broadside in a cruiser, for instance, then you're not going to expect great results necessarily from somebody doing that. But the players that do know and understand the mechanics, that they can be really, really dangerous and actually make life really difficult for an enemy team in a way that's kind of hard to counter because it then depends on somebody equally skilled and having someone in a submarine on your team that's equally as skilled, or maybe someone getting to get close enough in a destroyer, because they can be potentially great kind of cap denial weapons if they're unopposed, because it's not like they can be air spotted. It's only if they're on the surface and somebody's close enough that they can get spotted. So I don't know. I think having them put in randoms, you might end up almost like old CVs where you had some extremely good players that were able to basically excessively dictate how the battle went, and maybe the rest of the players are not going to be anywhere as near as consequential, and you just won't really know until you get into the game. And we kind of moved away from that with CVs, which was a good thing, even if the CV changes were kind of mixed overall. But if we then go back to that with this new class, that's not really going to be healthy for the game, I don't think.
As a destroyer player, if you could say that, you have to worry about two things: submarines and carriers. Oh no! Let's go to strike, please. No, it's a little bit frustrating about that. You have now to worry about two massive enemies: carriers and submarines. Wow, it is a little bit, I don't know, guys. Really, I don't know. I worry a lot about that. I hope to be wrong, and I hope to the people who say, "Oh, Chaos Machine, shut up." Okay. I don't know, really.
I mean, we're gonna see a lot this weekend. Right now, they haven't put submarines in those random bundles this time, but there is like a mission chain, right, for the tier 6, the tier 8, and the tier 10. And I suspect that most people will have completed the chain like this weekend. So this weekend we'll probably see a lot of submarines. So this will be this will be an interesting weekend. Let's put it like this. The thing that bothers me is, right, what Wargaming doesn't seem to understand is that if you test something in random battles, then you have already implemented it in random battles. It's the main game mode, right? The idea of testing is to test something before you put it in your main battle mode, right? And they're like, but the only way we can test it is to actually release it. Then it's no longer, it's like you can't escape it, right? This isn't a separate mode where you test something out. This is something that you're confronted with that you can't escape. That's permanent. Well, not a permanent, but for the next 2 weeks or however long this test goes on, this is something that you will encounter every day in battle. It's part of the battle. It's like...
Let's say I am the Wargaming right now. You know what is my reply on this? We put the submarines in public test server about 1 year now. This is the reply. They put the submarines in public test server. So it's sarcastic if you do not get me, guys.
Yeah. And the thing is, what they need to do is they need to make a special game mode, but have amazing rewards so people actually try it, right? What Wargaming always says is, we don't get enough test data, right? Because nobody plays the test modes. Then make them profitable, right? If you give good rewards, I mean, the most people play ranked because they want steal, not because they enjoy playing ranked. If you have good rewards, people will play a test mode, right? And not make it on the test server. Make just a special game mode for submarines on the live server. Give good rewards and you'll get your data. And then once you think they are ready, which is probably never going to be, but if they are ever ready, then you can put them into random battles, right? That's I feel like, it's like if you make a car, and instead of properly testing the car, what if we put the car on the road, but we still collect data on the road of the crashes, and we'll fix the car then, it's okay, we're still testing it. It's on the road and it might crash, but that's fine. We're still collecting data, right?
It sort of at least has the implication that it might be taken out again, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're kind of probably here to stay, despite them having stated several times, if it doesn't work, we'll just take it out the game. But they just seem so firmly committed to the idea of having subs in the game at this point that it seems hard to believe that. The thing that was kind of crucial for me, or the kind of important thing in this kind of last section, a crucial consideration is that submarines are a very unusual class, and we do not expect their popularity to be high. So their own expectations are quite low. Roughly speaking, we're aiming at a 4 to 8% popularity at tier 10. We'll be watching this metric very carefully and take action to keep popularity in that range. So they're coming at this with, and I think they probably do a fair bit of general class balancing this way. We want X number of this ship to be in battles at this tier. So we might end up with, I mean, if it's even below that figure, will we see submarines getting buffed to the point where they're ridiculous?
I mean, they
Who
have
knows?
something about that in the clarification update later, but it's not sounding very convincing. They say the phrasing was not completely clear and caused some confusion, and then they immediately cause more confusion, right? We will not make submarines overpowered to boost their popularity. Our goal is to create balanced ships. Sure. To accomplish a certain level of popularity, we improve or change game mechanics. So no, we are not going to make them stronger. We are going to improve the game mechanics to make them more popular, which means we are going to make them stronger.
Yeah. And you must keep the balance, by the way. Don't forget the balance, please. Yeah, it's about... it's difficult to keep the balance because, okay, we have the CV players. Okay, let's do something for the CVs to enjoy the CV players. Guess what happened about the destroyer players? How can I please the destroyer players? Let's buff, let's nerf the CVs. What happened with the battleships? The dispersion is... how can we make more happy the battleships players? Let's give to the battleships better sigma or a better dispersion, horizontal and vertical. It's about... It's crazy, it's complicated, and for them, I can understand a little bit about what happened, the balance team. It's difficult. The thing is, if it is difficult, why you put so many complicated things in game? Tell me. Don't do that. For example, let's say the matchmaking is broken. Okay, the matchmaking is broken. Why? Because in the same month, you have random battles, you have convoy thingy, you have rank battles, you have, you have the tweet, the Halloween thingy. Anyway, you have so many modes in the same time. It's not good. It's not bad. The bad thing is, let's say in the server we have now 25,000. The 15,000, we forgot the clan battles. The 15,000 plays random battles. No, the 10,000 play random battles. The entire 15,000, they are separated into different modes. And the matchmaker, it's broken anyway. The solution is the game need more players. And what Wargaming gonna do about that? About the new players? Please, I'm gonna say for this channel, I don't know, to speak to Wargaming right now. I don't know if they watching us one day. Bring back, please, the glory of the game. I mean, make the people to log in the game. Have fun. It's a game after all. For the competitive players, I can understand from them. They log in every day to be the most popular clan in the world. I can understand that, and I like that. Okay, but as we see, the most of the players, they are not so many competitive. I mean, they are competitive, but they play random battles. They try new modes, ranked battles. Yeah, okay. That is, I mean, it's I say about competitive, we speak about the super competitive, it's 20-25%. I know the numbers. I don't know if they changed the numbers the last 2 years at least. Let's say the 40%, the 60%, they are competitive, include clan battles to play clan battles for the steel, or to take a nice rank in the server. They play ranked battles for the steal again to take the tokens for the ranked battles, etc., etc., etc. And the people start to be competitive. That is my point, to receive all of these goodies. And they're frustrating. A lot of them people, a lot of these players, they're frustrating about these new changes. For example, the how call it, the captain rework. Why? It's a good thing, yeah? Each class you have different captain skills. I can understand that. But you make it more complicated. Okay. You want to do something for the game. We can understand that. I don't know. They're going to do something very good for the game. They're going to give to the people more excitement for the game. I don't know, what can I say. All of this is good, but it's so many in the how many, in 6 or 7 months, something like that. So many information, and the players, they're confused. It's too many information, and they can handle it. I don't know how can I describe it, really. Step by step, okay, I know you want to give to the people new stuff, new graphics, new AI, new captain skills, new class, submarines. Yeah, okay, we like that. But too many infos. Can I? It's a little bit. Can I answer to the phone, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's good that we have. I mean, it's nice that they shared a lot of data, I suppose, in this expanded comments dev blog that they did, but honestly, it all kind of feels like it's kind of papering over the cracks. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody be really wildly enthusiastic about submarines. There probably are people out there that do enjoy playing them, but
yeah, the 4 to 8% that play submarines, they're probably happy.
As a return on their investment, that doesn't seem like a particularly high one. So I do wonder if it's like Chaos said, that if it's like maybe they're hoping to draw new people in, they sort of tap into some hitherto.
I like the fact that they are sharing a lot of data with and graphs and so on. It's a good step. But what it also shows is that none of this data, nobody at Wargaming has sat down and asked the question, do people want this, right? Or will people maybe even quit the game because of this, right? And they are already saying like, there's already a group forming around submarines in the 4 to 8%, and that's exactly the target that we want. But they've never stepped back and asked themselves, yeah, but do you lose maybe 15% of your total player base because of this? Because you now have those 4 to 8% sub-plays, right? They never actually analyze or never ask themselves the question, are people okay with subs being in the game in the first place? And there is not a single graph and not a single mention of that they ever actually asked that question. And there is also the question that there were somewhere where they were like, yeah, people like dropping depth charges. And the clarification was like, yeah, in a survey, how satisfying does it feel to use depth charges against submarines? Well, I mean, that's the wrong question to ask, because it's the only way to damage a submarine down there. It's like, do you actually enjoy not being helpless? Is it a good feeling that you can actually defend yourself? Really, it is. I guess then we have done it right. It's like it feels like with all of this data, they are asking the wrong questions and they are interpreting the data not necessarily in a good way from my perspective. It's like they are completely blind to what they're actually doing. They're like, we have a target goal that 4 to 8% of people or something like that is going to play submarines, and we got that goal, and then everything is right. And it's
apologize.
No
No,
problem.
it's okay. Life happens. Yeah,
We speak about food. Bon appetit.
Food is always good. But back to what you said, Chaos, about the thingy. Like, they made the interface changes right now, right? Why wasn't that included with the captain rework, right? Because when they made the captain rework, there are a lot of new skills where you ask yourself, how does this work? When will it be active? They should have had the interface back then, because a lot of it comes down to properly giving the people information, giving them obvious information, right? Having tutorials, having an interface that tells you, yet this skill is active, right? I think the captain change was just rushed. It wasn't done yet. The rework of the UI would have needed to be part of the captain rework, and they should have worked better on the skills and have made more interesting skills, right? That it was just like a hack job. Probably only done so that they have a tab for submarines.
It was disjointed. And I think it's the worst. One of the worst things you can say about it. Like there wasn't any evidence of doing this as a cohesive whole. It's been like, well, here's the captain rework, and here's a bit of a rework of the captain rework, and here finally is the UI changes, and probably we'll have captain skills get changed further still as they get data from randoms and submarines. And I mean, some of it's inevitable that it's going to be changes along the way, but there's a lot of stuff that feels like it would have been a lot better if it had all come out at the same time. And instead, it's just all feeling a bit disjointed.
I mean, you can take your time, make a product ready, and then release it, and not just, throw out every bit that gets ready.
I think that might be the curse of the free-to-play game, where you just need to be putting out a certain amount of, like, you've got a quarterly target if we must put out this many new ships and this much new content, and yeah.
They asked me to say unbelievable this. Unbelievable this! You know that it's my mood. About Valkyrie, he say about going to teach me how to deal with subs. Play different type of ship. I don't play subs. No. I don't. It's for me. It's sorry to say that. The art department make amazing job about the graphics, about the depth. Okay, it's okay. The pink, blah blah blah, all of this. Yeah, okay, well done. But it's very slow gameplay for me. I think. Sorry, it's a little bit boring. I prefer more interaction. This is my humble opinion, by the way. My opinion. It's not my style. I'm gonna try the Submarines, of course. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do it. And I think in 1 year we're gonna have full lines about that.
Yeah.
Tier 1, tier 2, or it's gonna be like a CV, I think, tier 6, tier 8, and tier 10, something like that. So far we have German, Russian, and the US. We're gonna say Japanese, I don't know, or Greek. We have a Greek Submarines, or another country. Yeah,
there's a lot of countries that even though they didn't necessarily have particularly big surface fleets, still managed to have some submarines because they're generally a lot cheaper, or at least they were around that era. These days nuclear submarines maybe not so much, but yeah. It's
and hello to everyone, by the way. I see so many hellos. Sorry guys if I didn't type something in chat. I just
it's a bit, I don't know, it's just a bit disheartening overall in that we just seem to be getting steamrolled, and that we're going to get submarines no matter what, and they're going to keep hammering at that square peg until it fits in the round hole that is the rest of World of Warships.
Well, guys, we must accept it. That's it. We saw it in random battles. That's it. Don't hope about something else. No, that's it. This is my opinion.
What we can hope is that they would actually make some good changes to some, like for all that they address feedback, but in the whole feedback section, they basically tell everyone why they don't listen to feedback, right? It's like, and with such ridiculous things like damage control part, we understand for you this seems counterintuitive, but so far we don't see the need for changes. We see there's an opportunity for you to work with damage control. But the thing is, right, if you get set on fire and you damage control it, there is still a chance that you are not going to set on fire again, because it's chance-based. Even a Thunder Rod won't set you on fire with each salvo. Or yeah, it might, but most ships won't set you on fire with each salvo, right? So you damage con it, you might be fine again. But if you damage con a ping, as soon as damage con is over, you get pinged again. And there is nothing you can do. And then your damage con is on cooldown, right? It's like, it's a stupid interaction, I think, because it's not a counter, because the submarine isn't running out of pings, right? It's not going to not get another ping off, because it's like it's a sure thing, right? You damage con a ping, it pings you again, you're just screwed 30 seconds later.
And exactly, yeah. I saw that in ranked battles today with my Massachusetts. With Massachusetts, sorry. Chapaev. God damn this Chapaev, by the way. Salvo the fire! God damn it! Never mind. And I press the damage con because I am low health. After 30-40 seconds, a ping from the submarine, and that's it. I mean, fires again.
Yeah. They just need to rethink a better way to counter pings, in a sense, right? Because its damage con isn't it, right? But they aren't even considering it for whatever reason. Wargaming is like, we are fine with it. And their argument just makes zero sense, which is unfortunate. They also just keep hammering down that 12 versus 12 is fine, even if there are half of the team is invisible, because they are like carriers in the back or destroyers or submarines. But I guess it's all completely fine for them. They just so stubborn, like they aren't even considering testing it. They've never point be like, yeah, okay, you all guys, you think maybe with 2 submarines per team we should increase the player size of the teams by 2, but let's test it. Wargaming is like, no, this is fine.
You mean it's better to increase the
team numbers?
The team numbers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have suggested it, so I'd say, why not try it out, right? If the thing is, right, there are a lot of ships that you can't see because the destroyers are in concealment, right? The submarines are in concealment, the carrier is in the back line. So you end up in a battle where out of 12 ships, maybe only 6 are actually at the surface visible, right? Which creates a bit of a weird feeling because, you don't really run into anyone and you just move forward and then you die because some invisible ship, like, thank you. Sense. And it's just... The question is, wouldn't it be more interesting than if you add another ship or 2? And at least test it, right? But Wargaming, they only test their own weird ideas, not anybody else's ideas, I guess.
So, we said so many ideas. You remember that when we was in the program. Wow.
Yeah. Even I mean, we have definitely talked about this previously, even having some kind of cross-section player council which kind of represented, players of different levels giving feedback. Other games do that, but the Wargaming seems very uninterested unless there's a massive uproar about stuff. But very rarely things seem to get changed.
You remember when it was a program, I sent to Sub-Octavian, I typed something into Sub-Octavian about the clan battles, a new system.
Mm-hmm.
How is in World of Tanks with the maps, you take areas and something like that? You know what his reply, you remember? We don't copyright other games. And the World of Tanks, it's in the same company.
Yeah, I mean, like every good company takes ideas from others, right? I mean, that's how the whole, it's not just gaming, but that's how it works with phones, with computers, with everything, right? You look what does the competition, and you see like, why don't we take the good parts from the competition and use them ourselves or improve on them, right? That's how it's generally how progress works. You look what is out there, what works, what is good, and then you use it yourself or you improve upon it, right? Yeah. And be like, hey, this guy had a good idea, let's not use that. Is not very good game design. Oh, also, by the way, they have given us the numbers on when the homing torps stop homing, because if they get close enough, then they basically go dump and go straight, and then you can't dodge. So, for example, if you are a destroyer and you have been double pinged, then 120 meters away from your ship, it will stop homing. 120 meters. Yeah, you dodged that.
Yeah.
That's that numbers might need a rework. But yeah.
there's not a huge amount you can do versus like somebody skilled using the homing submarine torps. It's hard to really react to them, especially as there's now you can do the single tube fires. You can kind of, depending on their positioning, you can do spreads in such a way that you can potentially get them either way, whichever way they turn. Once you've got the ping on them and the torpedoes start homing. So I don't know. I think people are going to figure out strategies that are going to make submarines even more annoying to play against.
I mean,
I think we're gonna use the submarines in a few months, guys. Mark my words.
If you can't beat them, you join them.
Just
No, not join. We're gonna use them. I mean, we're gonna use. Yes, okay. Submarine in battle. Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, you either get used to it or you stop playing.
Yeah. Some of the people a few days ago they sent me PM. I just uninstalled the game. I'm still watching you because you are a good guy. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Why you install the game? I'm curious. Because of subs. Oh, okay.
I mean, there are going to be some people that have already left that will decide to leave based on subs. I think that, I mean, if you're leaving even before they've really been fully implemented, before you have had a chance to see what they'd be like in randoms, then that might be jumping the gun a little bit. But on the other hand, maybe they just played enough in ranked games, but by this point that they were like, yeah, no, I don't want to be in this game with subs anymore. So only Wargaming will know. Only Wargaming will know how many people jump ship, as it were, if I can kind of make a pun, and stop playing. And who knows if it will be made up for by people who decide to play because of subs. But I feel like the kind of people that are going to be most interested in subs are already playing single player proper sub games, because the subs we have, the way they play World of Warships is utterly unrealistic. There's very little about them that compares to games like Silent Hunter and anything even kind of remotely serious that's submarine themed.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, really, guys. I don't know. I'm optimistic in my life anyway. Yeah.
One can always hope for the best, even if it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know. I think about this now. I read the asymmetric battles. For me, it's Anyway, no comments. I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna spend 1 minute about asymmetric battles. I don't like it anyway. This is not my thing anyway.
Yeah, I mean they basically postponed it anyway. So
for example, like the Christmas. It's Christmas, for God's sake! It's the best celebrate in the year, on the year for everyone. It's the most warm family situation. You can feel. I hope to see this year, by the way, and not this disaster with the Santa Crates, and not to see at least one time. To give to the people, for example, a dockyard free ship. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. The people gonna buy Santa Crates. No worries. Give to the people the opportunity at least one time to give them the happiness about one ship for free. Grind. Okay. Do you want to make the stuff more harder? Okay. Make not like Puerto Rico. Okay, Puerto Rico was a disaster, by the way. Wow, I don't want to discuss about that, definitely. But it's. I want to. It's like the games. Anytime you press the power button on your PC and you want to play games with your friends, supposed to be you have fun or You concentrate, yes, okay.
Mhm.
Not to be sad, okay, now we're gonna play random battles and we're gonna see the submarines. Yeah, okay. You know what is my point? You told me now, oh, don't be like this. Come on, shut up. It's a game, it's a complicated blah blah blah. Yes, okay, I can understand that. But it's a game.
It's supposed to be fun, right? If a game stops being fun, then you stop playing it.
Indeed.
Yeah, I guess we can move on with subs anyway. Cover some more changes. Like an announcement for the Transformers collection. For those who are interested in it, basically you can't get the whole collection for free right now. You'd have to pay gamble crates. But they have announced that it will come back in the future, and then you will be able to complete the collection for free, basically. So
I'm sure
be
it was just a
patient.
miscommunication that they
Yeah.
forgot to mention this early.
Probably, right. But if you want to complete that collection, be patient. It will come back and you will get it for free.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's about the two captains, by the way. Megatron and Optimus Prime. Yeah. Not something.
Yeah, I think those are the main rewards
serious.
for completing that collection.
Yeah.
Well, and then we can, I guess, move to updates for the Russian and German. Like they are replacing the Khabarovsk with Elmi, or how it's pronounced. Also, by the way, some good news, right? They are retroactively giving people the camouflage they should have gotten for free when they changed the Moskva. Like in ancient days, wargaming was very generous or very fair, basically. When they introduced a new ship, they basically said, like, okay, you keep the camo for the old ship that you had, and for the new ship that replaces it, you get the camo, right? And then with Moscow, they were like, wait a moment, why should we give you a camo when we just charge you money for the camo that you've already bought, sort of?
Yeah, correct.
And now they are like, maybe that was a dick move that we did like 2 years ago, so we are now going to credit the camo for those people.
Yeah, they bring it back, by the way, yeah.
So a bit late, but a nice change.
Yeah, after 6 years, yeah. Never is late. Not bad. By the way, what do you prefer between Kaba or Denley? I ask about the chat because if you read the stats, here is the stats. I ask the chat right now.
Never
they prefer
played
Kaba or
Kaba,
Denley.
so
never play Kaba? Oh my god, you must try it, dude. It's F dodge awesome. Wow.
I don't have Kaba either.
Like. I love. How dare you! I love Kaba.
Yeah, I want my destroyers to be sneaky cap contesters. All right, I want either torpedo boats or gunboats. I want them basically sneaky cap contesters, and I like to have good torpedoes. Right, Kaba never appealed. I also haven't played the French. Right, I don't have the French destroyers. I don't have the Russians, and my favorite is Shimakaze.
Yeah, start to grind. You're gonna take a free thingy, by the way, a free call ship. You know.
I was working towards the Gorozhevoy on my NA account, and I think I got to tier 9. So I think I will have to. I'll probably spend some free XP to get the Kaba.
Yeah, no, keep your free XP. You know, it's Gibraltar coming out soon. I think next week or next 2 weeks. I don't know when they release Gibraltar, the Kearsarge, and Tuzla.
I think at least one of them is. Or is it 2 of them are coal? I'm not that interested in Gibraltar, to be honest.
Gibraltar, it's with research points, yes. The other 2, Tuzla and Kearsarge, it will be with coal.
Coal, yeah.
228,000 cost the tier 9s. Doesn't matter the class. They say about Kearsarge, I can't say. I keep my word. You know, I don't want to say something. But you're gonna like it. Tuzla, I didn't try it. I don't know how it's gonna be Tuzla. I don't know.
I haven't tried any of those ships on. I haven't really looked that much at the stats. So Isn't Tulsa like the kind of tier 9 Des Moines? Isn't that like basically a Des Moines at
fewer guns?
We have 6 guns. We have 6 guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a smaller Des Moines. It's like tiny Des Moines at tier 9. I could be into that. I like the Des Moines.
Yeah, I like Des Moines too. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's awesome.
So I think I'll get Tulsa and I'll play that. The others I don't really care.
About Gibraltar so far in dev block, and if you go to the fitting tool, she don't have super heal. Super heal have and the Minor and the Goliath, correct? And the Conqueror, yeah, they are British. Gibraltar, it's a British ship. It's a heavy cruiser. I hope to change that because, as you know, a lot of people told me, "Hey, Chaos, if Gibraltar don't have a super heal." By the way, it's not the reason to go to take Gibraltar because of the one super heal. No, it's not this reason. If you like the heavy cruisers, okay, that's it. But I don't know, if you don't have super heal, it's like Goliath with AP, something like that. You know, it's close to Goliath, you know. Give to her super heal, come on, item, say something. Jedi, come on.
It has a smoke.
Say to Wargaming to give a super heal, come on.
But it has a smoke instead. I mean, it has to give up something for that, right? It can't just have
I mean, if it's got that British massive, easy to hit citadel, then I don't necessarily think it'll be for me if it doesn't have the heal.
Really, I'm gonna take it. You know, I like the challenges. You know,
Definitely will be a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
It's good that they add ships that are challenging, though. Good that they add ships that are a bit different and not necessarily like super easy to play.
Plymouth have a. I don't know about the chat. Plymouth have a super heal. Let me check. Plymouth. I don't remember the big Belfast.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't quite remember what its heal is like. I don't think it has a super heal, but I could be mistaken.
I don't remember. Really.
Have a look.
Premium.
Honestly, I've just been looking at the Delny stats, and I don't really know what to like. I don't have any point of reference for this, so I don't know how it's going to compare to the Havarosk, how it's going to compare to the Tashkent. I mean, if it's just kind of an upgraded Tashkent, then I suppose at least it'll be more consistent. But what does that mean for the playstyle?
Yeah, you have less turret. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it also depends how it compares to like the French, because the Khabarovsk has a bit been like pushed aside by the French because the French just did the same thing better.
Yeah.
So the question is, can it stand up to that?
Wow, no. Plymouth, she don't have super heal, yeah. Like Goliath, for example. Goliath have plus 200%. 0.5%, yeah. No. Anyway, I don't know. No.
I mean, what got me personally a bit more interested is the Preußen, like the German one, because I do love German battleships. Although
How pronounce it?
Preußen.
Okay, I hear it first time in my ears.
The Grosser Kurfürst replacement, which I like the Grosser Kurfürst. I'm kind of sad in a way, but at least I'll get to keep it.
I can't wait about this, baby. I can't wait, really.
I mean, the thing is, right, the Kurfürst is then going to be a premium ship, so it's even better. You can now use any captain on it. You don't need to. So basically, if you love the Kurfürst, there is nothing wrong with this change. You have your Kurfürst as a premium, so it's even better. And now the thing is what the one thing that kind of annoys me a bit is that it follows the trend of having the 30mm overmatch. Why does every battleship need to overmatch 30mm? I haven't certain cruisers suffered enough. Like the Kurfürst was one of the few ships that didn't have the overmatch, and they're like, what if we just make a Kurfürst with bigger guns?
I mean, what's the last one left now that can't? The Montana?
Montana can't. The Italians obviously can.
And French?
Conqueror. But Conqueror doesn't shoot armor piercing anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, that does seem to me the main difference is the guns. At the moment, the biggest guns you can fit at a 420mm, and you've got the choice between those or the 406s, the 16-inch guns. And instead, they're going to be replaced by 8 457mm guns. And quite honestly, I liked having the bigger barrel count compared to the Tier 9. I was never that big of a fan of the traditional.
Like Ohio, like Georgia, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
You give me a pass, guys. You can imagine. About replacements, it's the first time they're gonna replace. No, third time. Moskva,
Mm-hmm.
Denley. Moskva, Kaba, and the GK.
Yeah.
You can imagine. What is your opinion? We're gonna see similar situations like this. Yami, I don't know. Montana, you never know. Or Des Moines, you never know, etc., blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure why they are replacing it in the first place, because they could just, like, for example, the Poison, it looks like it uses a Kurfürst hull, or at least to me it looks like that. Obviously, I don't know exactly. It looks like they literally just switched the turret, so they could have done that to a Kurfürst. Well, why make it a new ship anyway? I don't quite understand this, but I mean, it doesn't really matter to me because the Kurfürst is still around. So.
But I mean, it's fine. Saying that, it's fine for us that will already have it, but for new players, I mean, if it's just kind of stepping up from, I mean, like tier 8, 9, and 10 are all going to have the same number of guns, and I really liked that once you got to tier 10, you suddenly had actually quite a meaty broadside. So it's what 1.8 Sigma. Do we have how does that compare to?
Okay, the Sigma
I don't even know what the DK has.
So crap, let's say, yeah.
It's probably going to be fine, but I can't help but think that it doesn't feel entirely necessary.
Crap Sigma have the Marlboro. Very crap, 1.60. Wow. The next dog yard ship.
Mm-hmm.
The Sigma is crap, and it is special one. I don't know
I'd be surprised by that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stats, just looking between the.
But because we have 16 guns.
And the GK, they look quite similar, like similar range. I think the secondaries are going to be the same range.
8.3, yeah.
It's basically also the same secondary caliber. I think it's the same concealment. It's like it really looks like they just replaced sort of the guns.
It's like to take the turrets from the GK and put the 457mm. The other thing, it's almost the same. And the fire range, by the way,
it's getting more close range DPS, but the AA looks the same as well.
How is the server? How is the life of? Let me check. How is the life? The hit points of GK. I'm curious.
It is. 105,800.
Oh, okay.
So that's identical.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can't see its import. We only have the picture, but to me, like the hull, it looks really like it's the same.
I mean, turn radius, rudder shift, top speed, they're all identical. It does just seem like the same hull with the bigger guns.
I guess it's an easy way to create a new cold ship, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, since my Kurfürst stays in the game, I don't have any strong opinion about this. We will see how the new Kurfürst performs then.
I suppose with it being coal, I mean, people could still, like, it's not going to be cheap, but at least people will have the opportunity to get it in future. That's not so bad. I hadn't spotted that before.
For me, I don't mind about the poison, if I pronounce it correct. I don't mind at all. I like it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's like you say, we'll see what this means for like if there are other lines that they decide to rationalize in future. It's maybe worth pointing out, like, this has happened a lot in World of Tanks. There are a whole bunch, especially at the low tiers, they really trimmed out a lot of tanks from various national tech trees and stuck them in a special category that you could buy for credits. They didn't become premiums or anything like that, so it's not quite the same. But yeah, they simplified a lot of the tech trees in terms of the early stages and even the later stages with some of them. So there's definitely a lot of precedent for doing this, but it's been unusual with Warships up until now. So yeah, is this still kind of like a one-off and it just happens to be these two things at the same time, or is it signaling that Wargaming is looking at revamping and rejigging the higher tiers generally? Because that kind of ties into another thing that we're going to talk about, which is the waterline Superships.
Waterline. Give me a sec. Yeah, because Waterline, they promise the 2022, they're going to be very, 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 very excited. Come on, baby, party! You know, something like that. Yeah, it's... yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah,
I love this energy, by the way.
Sorry?
I love the energy that you have.
Yeah, yes, my friend. It's, you know, I say that every morning in myself. You wake up, GG. You have your health, GG, and that is the best. And family, friends, yeah, thanks God, everything is okay.
Well, yeah, you've got to find things to be positive about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Or at least try. So, yeah, Superships, which we've kind of had in as a brief thing already, and Wargaming was like,
11s.
Yeah.
Well, that feels like new content. Let's shovel them in and add more stuff.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not necessarily that opposed to having a tier 11. I mean,
I'll be honest, I'm not either.
You think no?
I know some people have reacted to this really negatively, but I mean, short of trying to ram things into the existing tiering, which isn't necessarily always going to fit. I mean, it's a logical step. There's nothing that's set in stone that says it has to be only 10 tiers. That's what they set out with because that's what World of Tanks did in their game design and World of Warships did in their game design. So it was kind of like this unified thing.
Yeah.
But there's no kind of holy rule of video games that says it can only be that and nothing further.
I mean,
so
what do you
as long
think,
as
guys,
it's
about
balanced, as long as it's fun to play and fun to play against, I'm not necessarily opposed. If it's creating a new level of end game content for people, that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's a lot of people that are already going to have a lot of tier 10s, if not all the tier 10s. So, yeah.
Can I ask both of you in the chat and all the people they will be watching us in YouTube, you know, and Twitch. Okay, let's say it's not tier 11. How are they gonna put the Superships as premiums, as researchable ships? I mean, tech tray. It's a separate, for example, Superships. I don't know. Can you help me? I just put the question on the table, you know, to understand if it is not tier 10. What is the how are they gonna put that ships in the game? I don't know.
So
they could have had
What
them
do you think?
be kind of alternate tier 10s, maybe, but that then it depends how much they have planned for this kind of idea, because you might end up having a lot of stuff at tier 10, which then ends up really saturating the tier 10 matchmaking, and I don't know what they would have in mind for that in terms of like how many ships, how many games they want to be purely tier 10 versus pulling up from lower tiers. I mean, what all that I've said myself is kind of separate from what they're doing with these ships exactly, with the new mechanics there. Like, I'm not inherently opposed to Tier 11, far from it, but the actual like the auto loading mechanics and the thing with the secondaries that which one was it got? That was the German one, right?
Yeah.
And they've announced the destroyer, which, you know, being able to switch between two torpedo types, that actually sounds like it's kind of an interesting thing and not necessarily going to be overpowered for bashing on lower tiers, although it then depends on what those torpedo types are. But yeah, there's some things that kind of feel like they would fit better than others. So I kind of want to get my hands on them a bit and see more details. But
I think it's gonna be premium most.
Yeah, more high tiers is not necessarily bad.
Yeah, there is actually some information there, right? They said we want to make obtaining superships simple and clear, accessible to all who wish to use them. And therefore, you will need 1 experience point to research a supership after researching the Tier 10 ship. So when you have Tier 10 ship, then there will, like if you have, for example, the Kurfürst, I suppose, then the Hanover will be 1 research point to research, right? And what they are going to do is they're going to make them very expensive for credits. Like you then have to buy the ship for credits. And it will probably cost a lot of credits to maintain. So it sounds to me like they have made Tier 10s too cheap, right? But when they introduced the perma-camos for Tier 10, right, and all the economic bonuses that are around these days, you can make a lot of credits just playing Tier 10 factory ships. And they want you to lose credits, or they want a larger credit sink at higher tier. So they are making those ships, you can research them for 1 experience point from the Tier 10. Then you buy a shit ton of, you buy them for 1.5 to 2.5 the cost of a Tier 10 ship. And they say they're still working on the economy, but basically they want you to just spend a lot of credits playing those ships.
I think they want it to be like the Tier 10 tanks in World of Tanks. That's how the entire economy is kind of graded. That if you're a premium account using person, I phrased that weirdly, but you know what I mean. If you have a premium account, you can just about break even, or if you've had a really good game, you can even make some credits at Tier 10. But it's not really a tier at which you can make money in the same way that you can in World of Tanks. You can't, like, I playing, it's now a free-to-play player, like anything over, I don't know, Tier 6, Tier 7, you start to lose credits on sub-average or even bad games in World of Tanks quite easily. And that's not even taking the special ammunition, which costs more into play. And it's the thing I've long said about World of Warships, the economy is kind of quite generous to the player, and it's almost only gotten more generous over time. And it's obviously gotten to the point where I think this is probably a big driver for why they've decided to put in these super ships, is they can now serve as an end of tech tree credit soak. Yeah. And that's honestly kind of a standard thing. I mean, World of Tanks specifically, but you know, like War Thunder, the end of tech tree vehicles are really expensive to use, and the whole idea is either you've got a premium account, or else you have lower tier premium vehicles that you then play to make up the credits so you can go and play these end game ships. So it almost feels like them having, like they're trying to find a way to soak up credits without directly hitting people's income, because that's going to, if they did that would create a hugely negative
if you read, they say the credit to cost of buying a super ship itself, it will be about 1.5 or 2.5 the cost of buying a Tier 10 ship.
It's going to be expensive.
Wow.
I mean, for some people, it'll be like, sure, I can buy 2 or 3 of them at once because they have so many credits, you know, just lying around the place. But for other people, it's going to be, right, I have to actually grind credits for this.
How much cost let's say I'm a new guy and I just unlock the Kurfürst. How cost the Kurfürst? How millions? I don't remember.
I can't even look it up in game because I've got the dockyard stuff that reduces the cost, but it's what?
I mean, let's look at the wiki. I think it should be
million? Yeah, it should be in the wiki.
Wiki.
20.6 million.
20.6. So the 1.5, they say the 1.5 or 2.5 because we're gonna see French cruiser and Japanese destroyer, correct? So
Yeah.
because cruisers and destroyers are more cheap than battleships. 1.5 it's for cruisers and the destroyer, and 2.5 it will be for battleships. Oh, that now we speak about 40 or 45 million credits.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Wow. Yeah, but you take it once and that's it, correct?
Yeah.
But then you have the running
but
cost,
you-
whatever that will be.
Yeah, you have post-battle like service costs, right, that you pay. And I assume they will tweak the economy that if you have a bad game, then you lose credits.
It will
Unless
be
you
interesting
run a
to
premium
see
account, essentially.
if it doesn't mention at all. I mean, it obviously says that we're looking at this and we're tweaking it and thinking how we're going to do this. But I mean, it says the maintenance cost will be about twice as high as that of tier 10. So that is absolutely that's the credit sink. But possibly there won't be any perma camos that give economic bonuses, or I mean, even if you had the same level of value as the perma camos at tier 10, that would still give you a fair whack of credits potentially, because that's about the earning value of a tier 8 premium ship. So I don't know, maybe they will do perma camos and it will just be like even more doubloons and it just won't earn
That
any
is the
more than a
point.
tier 10 perma
That's the
camos.
point.
So we'll see.
You say the magic word. Doubloons.
I mean, also, by the way, something they haven't, like, I mean, they never say that it's going to be tier 11, but what they did say was that the Grand Battle showed that tier 9 and 10 ships were capable to stand up to Superships. So I'm desperately hoping that this means that they are actually tier 11 for the matchmaker. Like, you can't have tier 8 ships meet those Superships, right?
It would have to be, I would think that it would have to be tier 9 and 10 if they're specifically talking about tier 9 and 10.
Yeah,
I mean, also
they can't see, they have to only appear in matches with tier 9, 10, right? So.
Oh, I forgot the American Super Cruiser. Yeah, sorry. Apologize. But before I say about French, and I say I'm so stupid, Japanese, and it is Soviet destroyer, not Japanese destroyer. Sorry.
Also, we would be remiss if we didn't mention that there's already the tier 11 Russian cruiser Petro in the game. So, it's just some other ships that are catching up with that.
I mean, it depends a lot on how they get the balancing right. So this is going to be interesting with how Wargaming does things. If they want to introduce new mechanics like autoloaders and so on, I mean, they could be fun. If they are balanced, right, having new mechanics, having new things to play with could be a lot of fun. It just has to be done the right way. So we will see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of detail in terms of cooldowns and how long it'll take to fill up the bar and stuff like that. The only change that it does note is that it's now going to be fully player controlled.
Which is a good change. Like if you finished up the bar in your Hanover and then you have I have a secondary buff and nobody's in secondary range and you're like, well, this sucks.
You remember what was the caliber of the Hanover? Wow, I want it. I want here in my account, really.
Was it also 457s or was it 420s?
No, it was big enough that it can overmatch 30, but it was at least
480 something it goes. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge for German BB, by the way. I mean, something like Satsuma. And I can't find it in fitting tool, unfortunately.
483s. The Hanover had 483s.
Oh, yeah! Wow, really? Pff, come on.
It's coming back, and you'll be able to sail that around in random battles.
Yes! And yes, the thing is, they're gonna remove it after this. I suppose, yeah. They're gonna remove it.
What do you mean remove it?
After, if the rank battles is over, they're gonna take it, I think. Something like that, correct?
They want to put them in random battles, but it will be some time until that happens, I suppose, right? That they'll keep testing it in ranked, and then they will shove it into random battles when they are happy.
No, yeah, like the Submarines, you say.
Exactly.
Like okay, I get you.
It does also note with that upcoming ranked season that there will be no submarines, which is going to be relief to some people. Well, I guess.
I guess
Where do you find this, by the way? What do you find about the number?
This is on the dev blog, which is entitled Waterline Superships.
No, I mean the caliber of the maneuver.
From in the announcement of the grand battles back in June.
Ooh, okay, yeah, correct. I mean, you have something like a fitting tool, and you see something like that.
Yeah, the fitting tool would have it as well, I imagine.
That probably too.
I searched in Wiki, it's not there. Germany. Test. Griffin. No. Anyway.
It's a bit weird seeing mention of an auto-loader in World of Warships, because it's been a thing in World of Tanks for quite a long time now. And, technically, there are auto-loading ships in the Des Moines, had that auto-loader system to achieve that rate of fire, but of course that's not what they mean. It's more like the French autoloader where it's burst fire and then a long kind of cooldown. I don't know. We'll see how that works. I mean, is it really that going to be that different from the French current consumable that gives you that extra burst of firepower? Because we don't really know how this is going to look compared to hitting a consumable and getting that burst damage.
I mean, I assume it's going to be more like how is it, the Austin code? You just have a brief period of great reload and then a period of shit reload. You can just pew 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 pew, and then you have a long reload, sorta-ish, more like that.
Maybe. I mean, the way it's written, does it have an effect on the regular rate of fire, or is it just going to be the cooldown before you can actually use the burst again? It's really. I mean,
is it even a consumable? I would have thought it's just like your guns operate, right? You basically you have 5 salvos of rapid fire, and then you reload for like a minute or so, right? Then you go grab a beer and make yourself a sandwich.
Possibly they addressed it in the video, and I did watch the video, but I can't actually remember now if it gave that detail or not.
I guess we will see when I put them in ranked battles then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be... The thing is, how much people they're gonna buy them? I mean, how
the
much make them?
People this is aimed at are going to be people that are sitting on hundreds of millions of credits.
Yeah, correct. And I think that it's you take it only once and that's it. You can play with her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once you've bought it, you've obviously got the running cost to then take into account. But yeah.
Okay. It's wow. If you want, let's say 35 million each. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships. Wow. 100 175 million credits.
Well, you
Okay.
can always buy buy doubloons and convert, and Wargaming would be more than
Yeah.
happy to assist you that way.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I'm gonna send a ticket about that. Can you make me a discount because I'm gonna spend the 50,000 doubloons? Oh my god.
Overall, I think I'm kind of cautiously interested. I don't know about you guys.
It depends how they get the balance here. I'm not opposed to the idea of having a tier 11, I suppose, right? They crammed so many stuff in tier 10, make it properly tier 11.
Yeah,
Supposed to be premium ships. This is my humble opinion.
It feels like it could fit as opposed to submarines, which just feel awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm sure I'll give it a year from now, we'll be talking about the first directly sold tier 11 premium.
It's going to be a submarine aircraft carrier.
Yeah, it'll be that aircraft carrier from the Ace Combat games. That's what it'll be.
You think they're gonna be with steel or I don't know, but 5 steel ships?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll find ways to bring other currencies in there. I'm sure it won't just be credits. I'm sure they'll find a way to.
Once they've established that as a new tier, right, they will casually bring up coal and premium and all the other stuff.
It'll happen.
Well, but in I guess the last big news, they are actually going to announce drop rates in the near future for random boxes.
Yeah. From November onwards, it says. Yeah, starting November 2021.
They said a possibility as well.
Everything that's new from that point will have the drop rates disclosed, and then the existing stuff in game, which falls under this kind of heading of random chance stuff. That's all going to be done by April next year, is what they plan. So yeah, this was surprising in that I wasn't expecting to hear or read anything about this quite so soon.
Yeah, I'm happily surprised that the Black Friday containers will have the chance displayed and the Christmas crates will have the chance displayed. That's a good move.
And we scream about that in 2020, by the way, like crazy.
Yeah.
The 100% of community contributor. We scream about that. GG.
I mean, certainly,
this is a GG, by the way.
There's been people asking for this for a really long time, and I think a lot of people not at all hopeful, because it seems like the kind of thing that, to be fair, this isn't just Wargaming. Like, a lot of companies are extremely hesitant to, because loot boxes make huge amounts of money, even in games that people pay for. AAA titles have these microtransactions and gambling mechanics in them, and it seems like the industry as a whole is going to have to be dragged kicking and screaming to a place where disclosure of odds is a mandatory, legally mandated thing. So I mean, I personally assumed Wargaming was going to exactly fall into that camp, but first we had World of Tanks disclosing odds, and hopefully that will continue. But now we have also World of Warships saying, hey, we're going to do this as well. So yeah, it's a really good thing for everybody.
It's more fair, and definitely you definitely from the Wargaming perspective gonna have shared. I mean, have a problem or have not the full pockets as usual with the containers, because the people now can read the possibilities. It's the percent 35, 25. No, I'm not gonna take it. The possibilities is less, and all of this thinking, I don't know, but it's fair enough, and definitely the people gonna say, okay, I'm gonna give 50 euros, for example, and I'm gonna take this and this and this. If I'm lucky, yeah, I have 35% or 25% or something like that. It's more clear for everyone. But the thing is, we don't know what happened. If it's 35%, it is 35%. Anyway.
There is a guaranteed drop mechanic, so they are having what other games have at times is basically if you get unlucky too often, then you're guaranteed that after a certain amount of draws, you're basically guaranteed the top drop in a sense. So basically, if you have a crate there could be a ship, then I mean, there are no specific numbers there, but it could be that like after 20 crates, if you don't get lucky, you are definitely getting a ship.
Mm-hmm.
Which on one level is nice. It's kind of a pity mechanic, as it's been called.
Yes.
You're going to get something after a while, but I kind of like it and dislike it because at the same time, it's also putting in people's head, well, if you get enough boxes, you will get something. So some people might keep going knowing that they're going to definitely get something if they hit, like
you now know how
boxes.
much you have to like you spend at most to get at least something. Obviously it's probably not the ship that you want, but you now know the maximum amount that you could possibly spend to get a ship. On the one hand it's a nice thing, on the other hand it might get more people to gambling because they have that safety net. So
it's getting into the sunk cost fallacy. Essentially, it's getting people to think, well, I've spent this many doubloons already, so if I just spend this many more, I'm definitely going to get something. So, but overall, I mean, yeah, it's a good thing. It enables people to make better choices with how they spend their money in this game, and that's an absolute win for all of the consumers and players, basically.
And they'll have an confirm that you are 18 plus age confirmation prompt before making a purchase, which probably doesn't do much because people will just say, yeah, obviously I'm 18. But it's also a step in the right direction. It
would be nice, and I don't know if this is maybe something they are considering, it's just not in here, but if they would maybe do some kind of parental controls feature on an account as well, because that is something other games have done, although it's usually just so they can say, hey, look, we've done this. And it doesn't make the gambling boxes in like FIFA games or whatever any better kind of thing. But for a free-to-play game, if there's a parental control you could stick on, and it's like, well, you can set spending limits or block an account from buying doubloons or whatever, it would be also a good thing, I feel. But yeah, this is a win. This is definitely a win.
And if I got it, you can take the crates from random bundles, and directly you can buy the things from the crates with doubloons.
We're starting to get that with some of the more recent stuff, and I mean that's been a good change as well, not just having things behind the random crates, and actually like with the I think it's the Transformers I'm particularly thinking of, where you actually had the separate prices both in doubloons in the armory and on the website shop as well, so you could see exactly what that was going to cost you. Because I've always been a proponent of make the thing, sell the thing, and not have all this gambling bullshit in between.
Yeah. Okay.
Also about the parental controls, I feel like one of the biggest issues with things like that is that most of the time parents just have no clue. And the child probably knows more about the tech and PCs than the parents do. So you'd need the parents to basically install the game and activate the controls and take an active interest in what the kids are doing. And most parents, I feel like, would rather complain to somebody else that the kid plays too many video games instead of stopping the kid from playing video games, right? It's like I mean, obviously, companies don't want to stop people from giving them money, but at the same time, parents need to take a more active interest and more responsibility themselves because you gotta do some parenting. Yeah,
With that, they can cover.
I think we've covered about everything.
All the situation with the gambling thingy, if it is 18 plus, about the law.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I think we can still hope that EU law catches up on these things because it's one of those areas where the law definitely does lag behind.
Yeah.
And we really shouldn't be having to rely on voluntary compliance from companies in this way. I mean, it's good when companies do make these proactive steps, but at the end of the day, these are exploitative game mechanics. This is just a way of helping players be more informed. It isn't removing the mechanic in question. It's just making people more aware of what exactly their chances are of getting the thing that they specifically want. So it's a step in the right direction. It absolutely is. But it's not removing the problem so much as it is kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Lessening it, I guess.
They are making it slightly more fair, but the problem is still there.
Well, is there anything else we want to talk about? Or
I think we covered a lot of things.
Yeah, I think we've basically covered the dev blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some other miscellaneous things from the website, like the C SmackDown contest.
I sent my video already about how call it
article.
Palo Emilio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much else that's not in the dev blogs that's here. Yeah, birthday gifts, we covered that last time. So yeah, that's about it news-wise, but there has been a relatively large amount to cover. Oh, there was the outburst. We could maybe finish on the ill-advised trip to the RU forums by, I think this was the head of Wargaming St. Petersburg, who's kind of a bit infamous at this point. And I'll see if I can bring up the exact thing, but yeah, it kind of got mentioned in Atam's chat a bit earlier. Basically, there's a reason why they try and keep this guy away from the keyboard, but sometimes they fail.
He basically said that maybe they should just copyright strike every non-CC and stop them from producing content and see how they like it. So more or less, that's what they said. And then a bit later, other people from Wargaming came in and apologized for his behavior, and we're like, no. We are fine with people making content. That's perfectly fine.
But this is the guy that runs Wargaming St. Petersburg. So
yeah, this is the person at the top.
I mean, to be fair, probably the management at most game studios has very little to do with like actually playing games and coding games and designing games. But even so, it's not a good look.
Yeah, really I mean, he's just a bit comedy relief right now. I mean, his last statement was like, if you're the game developer, that you can criticize games. You can't dislike game mechanics unless you're a game developer.
I'm curious about the 2022, really. Okay, we have in front of us, we know already about a little bit of Black Friday. We can guess what will happen in Christmas from our experience. How many cats you have, by the way?
2.
Item.
2 cats, but they keep moving around.
Because I say this is
The
Ah,
black
it's a
and white
photo.
one, that's Sam. That's just a photo. Although he is
Yeah, yeah.
actually
Black,
also
white, brown color. It's exactly.
Yeah. Like only one thing is a camera, the other pictures.
And I tried to say, what happened? They sleeping and they didn't move, or what the F?
sleeping very, very still.
I feel stupid. Wow, sorry.
Well, that's the
Oh
problem
my
with cats is they don't always nicely lie where you exactly want them to, where your webcam is pointing.
And sometimes they lie there for a long time, so you're unsure if it's a picture or if it's a camera.
Tell me. Wow, yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
All right, shall we wrap things up then?
Sure.
Can we find you anywhere except Twitch, Chaos? Do you have YouTube,
Well,
Instagram,
I have
OnlyFans?
Twitter. I have OnlyFans. Oh, you kinky boy. I knew that. Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link. Well, about mostly on Twitch. I have YouTube. I'm not so interactive with YouTube. I upload some funny videos or if from Twitch directly. I post a nice battle. I have Twitter. I like the Twitter so much. I have Instagram, Facebook page, Facebook group. Yeah. The thing is, if the people type the twitch.tv/ChaosMachineGR, they're gonna find all the links in my channel, by the way. But the most important, guys, is to say a big thank you to having me tonight. Wow, you can imagine I'm so hungry at the moment. Really, it's very nice discussion. I enjoy it. We speak honestly. We say things to hope to see in the game. Yeah, it's fun. Really, I enjoy it. Really, it's as sometimes I say that rare, but it's quality time for my life because I speak with the friends, with the people to respect so much. I am Jedi, and the chat is amazing. You know, it's. Thank you so much for your questions. I hope to see more questions on YouTube. And yeah, guys, I wish you all take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful night. And enjoy your weekend, please. Don't forget that.
We'll do our best.
So yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.